Hi, welcome back. My name's Jamie, the founder of Journey Life Now. This reading is for Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising for the month of October 2025. Okay? Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising for the month of October 2025. Okay, before we get into the cards, there are a few things I want to discuss about the moon and the cycles this coming month, okay? Some of the themes you might experience. Okay, so there's a full moon October 6th in Aries in your 12th house. And that is in relationship or as a result of the new moon that happened in March. It was a solar eclipse, right? And it happened in your 12th house. And during that time, what you may have wanted to start, wanted to do, wanted to seek was what you needed to release, okay? Your subconscious played a role, right? The dreams, intuition, repressed memories, and having to bring them up, right? In order for you to start manifesting, creating what it is that you were brought to this earth for, right? Like why you're here, asking the bigger questions. It had to do with spirituality and what that means to you, right? Solitude, needing to like take a step back, right? Go into isolation, some type of retreat, rest, right? There were endings, closure, surrendering, letting go, things that had to do with releasing, okay? Hidden matters, like, you started to understand or wanted to understand or uncover some of the secrets that you held, the self-sabotaging behaviors, mental health, like where you stand, right? So that those are all things that you possibly had wanted to start back in March, the end of March, okay? Then June comes around. And something happens in June that pushes you away or towards wanting to further understand. It might have had to do with your siblings, your cousins, your neighborhood, communication, letters, emails, something in that realm, okay? But it was an emotional tension during that time, okay? Or something tied to a choice having to do with that, okay? So then here we are, day of the new moon, during this time. And a flashlight is turned on, right? So now you're able to see the result of everything that you have worked on these past 6 months. And this time, and during this time, right, it's about releasing anything that doesn't suit you, right? Any self-sabotaging behaviors, any efforts that you have made towards uncovering anything to do with the 12th house, right? If it doesn't work for you, release it. And what I mean by that is, like, let's say that you state like, okay, I'm gonna start meditating, and in meditation I am going to uncover what it is that's hidden, because I know there's something wrong, but I just don't know what it is, right? So you start to meditate and it's just not working, right? It's not working. And you're like, okay, I'm just gonna keep going. Well, no, don't do that, because if it's not working, then you have to find out why it's not working and find a way for it to work. And it might be something as simple as the time of day you do it, right? Whether or not you eat something before you try to meditate and you fall asleep because all your blood's going to your stomach, right? Something like that. So it wants you to reevaluate, to understand kind of what it is that you've been working on up until this point, release what doesn't suit you, redo, rearrange, right? What it is that possibly can help you moving forward, okay? During that same time, Scorpio enters your 7th house, okay? And you know, the planet, the archetype of communication, right? How you think, right? How you learn, how you communicate, all those things goes into your 7th house of Scorpio. That house is deep anyways, because Scorpio's there, right? So you've had a lot of transformations in your lifetime. If you're a Taurus rising, right, you've uncovered a lot of things, right? A lot of things about yourself and about others, okay? Sometimes a lot of pain associated with that. Anyways, that has to do with your committed relationships, right? Whether they're romantic, whether they're business, but it has to do with, you know, how you see yourself when it comes to partnerships, right? Like the mirror. How do you see them? And in turn, see yourself, right? Because it's a reflection. So that takes place, right? There might be some deep conversations taking place that transform again, right? Your relationship. Then on October 21st, you have a new moon in Libra in your 6th house. What they say, right? Unsexy house, right? But very necessary. And what that has to do with is how you serve, right? How you serve yourself. You know, how do you organize your life for it to be more efficient, more functional, right? Your work habits, your physical health routines, right? Like gym, walking, running, right? Meal prepping, right? It has to do also with how you serve others, right? So your day job, like what is it, how is it that you serve people with your day job, okay? How do you help others in tangible ways? So there's a new moon there. So there's something new that you want to start in that area of your life, okay? Now, in January, and I'm only mentioning this just so you can be a little bit aware, okay? In January, there's a quarter moon, right, for the new moon, and the last quarter moon for the moon that started in Aries. What the heck does that all mean? That means that during that time, there's a finale to the new moon, right? That happened in March. And it's in your 9th house, right? So now it's having to understand, like, okay, like, why am I here, right? So why am I here helps you answer the question to releasing what it is that doesn't suit you, right? Surrendering that because it's not maybe part of like your journey in this lifetime, right? Because like it doesn't mesh. And also helps with your 6th house, right? So the beginning. So there's going to be a choice you have to make during that time related to the 6th house, right? It maybe, you know, some type of emotional tension, right? Like something happens in your work life, in your physical everyday life that also through the 9th house helps you put perspective into the things that are happening in the 6th house, okay? So while you're here helps you or gives you a better understanding of how you're serving, right? Because if how you're serving doesn't mesh, right, with what you're here for, then that's tension that has to be figured out. Okay? So those are important dates. I mean, there's tons of more important dates, but those are pretty much a nice amount you could work with. Okay? Now, cards, Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising for October 2025. Okay. Okay, so this month there's a lot happening. You've worked very, very, very hard to be where you are right now, right? There's an emotional connection to this business that you've worked incredibly hard for up until this point, okay? You're guarding it, you're protecting it with your life. And again, there's an emotional involvement in this journey, okay? If it's a business, you've put a lot of effort, time, right? This is your baby, right? And it's like you're standing in front of it, like, come test me. And the same thing with, any type of achievement, anything that you've worked really hard for up until this point, there's an emotional attachment that you have. Okay. Here's where it becomes a little interesting. Is that crossing you right now, what's standing in the way is that you've put, and this is going to sound freaking crazy, right? But I'm going to tell you, you've put a lot of hard work for a little bit of pay out, okay? And that says two things. Number one, literally, you've worked like a freaking slave and got like a little pile of fruit, right? And you've literally have spent 23 hours a day, exaggeration, right? Working for this. And that's why you have such an emotional attachment to it, because you're freaking tired, right? You've put so much love and time and effort, right, into this. Okay. Now you have to make a decision, right? You have to make a decision. Do I continue this, right? Do I continue this knowing that I've put a lot of work, time, effort, right? Love, and the payout hasn't been great, right? Or do I take a chance and start something completely new? Okay? That becomes a little difficult for Tauruses because you're such a fixed sign, right? Unless you have lots of mutable planets, in signs, mutable signs, or Aquarius that likes, change and crazy, right? You don't want change. You resist change. It scares the crap out of you. Okay? So, what started off as this adventure, this seeking, right? Has become a lot. Okay? So, there is an opportunity for you here to start something completely new. Okay? And it has to do with possibly another person, right? So you might be able to start some type of partnership with someone else, okay? With like a partner, like you go into business with a partner. Or if you free up some of your time, there's a possibility that you will meet someone. Okay? This month, I need you to pay attention to the way you speak to people. You guys sometimes are very quick with your mouth, right? And you call it being real. You call it what you want to call it. Being straight, being forward, having no time for BS. Whatever it is that you want to call it, okay? But be careful, right? Don't diminish anyone. Don't put anyone down. Don't make anyone feel bad, right? In order to boost you and make yourself feel good, because that's the only reason why you would be so hurtful. Okay? Watch it. And I'm saying that because I'm a Taurus. So saying it with lots of love here, okay? Also, if it's not you that's behaving in that manner, keep in mind, right, that when someone behaves like that towards you, don't attack. Don't attack. Don't attack. Don't attack. Don't attack. You could. You'll be in the right-ish. Not really, right? But don't do it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. If you understand that people generally behave in that manner because they're in so much pain, right? And it has nothing to do with you at all whatsoever, then you can take a step back, okay? In the middle of the month, there's going to be an opportunity. There's going to be a message that comes to you super fast. Be ready for it. Be ready for it. Because that connects with what happens towards the end of the month, which is poof, right? Something that you thought to be true. No. Something that you thought was a certain way. No. Right? But again, I always say, if a foundation crumbles, it wasn't a foundation to begin with, right? It wasn't sturdy, right? Because a sturdy foundation, there's nothing in this world that can make it crumble, right? So this is like the awareness of a lie, of something that has been kept from you. It's false. It's sometimes unexpected, but I think it's Michael Tsarian. I think it's him that says about the tower. He's like, you know, lots of people describe the tower as like something like unexpected, not seen. And he's more like, no, you actually see it coming, whether you realize it or not. It's there. It's just upon you, right? So maybe like a year ago or a month ago or whatever, you had some type of inkling, something that something wasn't right, right? Now, from this month moving forward, if you sit down and you think about it, you'll be like, oh yeah, there were some clues. Whether or not you picked up on it, that's, you know, whatever. Okay. There's someone in your environment, right? In Aries, a Libra, a Gemini, right? That stands in the truth, right? That this person becomes important this month. And they become important because I feel like it's something that you need, right? You need facts. You need logic. No emotion, just facts. And this person, you're either going to seek their counsel or they're around you and they're there and they don't seem too friendly, but you don't need friendly right now. You need someone that's like gonna like talk you through it, right? It's gonna, you know, they're just gonna tell you facts. Like they're gonna counsel you, which is what you need. Okay. There's a lot of you that want lucky break. They, you know, they're ready for it. They're ready, you know, for this cycle, this major cycle, you know, to come, you know, this change. They're at the top of the mountain and they're like ready, right, for this next piece. Not yet, right? It's telling you like, let's back up a little bit, stop, right? Because it needs you to understand clearly how it is that you're going to move forward, right? And the only way to do that is to sit in solitude, right? And understand what belongs to you, what doesn't, what's in your subconscious, how you're going to get rid of it, what type of coping mechanisms, habits, right, are you going to learn, right, moving forward? So when life happens, like it does, because it doesn't stop, it keeps on giving, right? You know how you're going to cope, how you're going to deal with it. Okay? Now, let's see if there's any major not if there's any, because there's gonna be, but let's see if there an event, a situation that wants to be highlighted, that wants to come through in regards to this month. Okay, what a month it is. Okay, let's see. Okay, so there's something new, something naive, a child. You hear about maybe either how they're connected to their ancestors, anything health related, right? So there's that. Also, there's a new health routine that happens with communication, right? So that's being highlighted. So definitely, okay? So health, new, communication, how that evolves. You know, it could be like learning how to speak to your child within, right? The little you, the young you, right? Going back in time and like counseling them, right? Telling them it's okay. That's shadow work, right? So it has to do with, for some of you, if you're trying to go into your past, into your subconscious, trying to figure out like what it is, there's something having to do with the way that people communicated with you when you were young, right? Little, has to do with your health and how it's affecting your health now, right? Because it's not separate, it's all the same. Okay, one more message, my love. Seven heavenly virtues, keys to goodness. Okay, 7 heavenly virtues, 7 universal laws, 777. Okay, it all correlates. Thank you. Please like, subscribe, comment. I will get back to you. Any questions that you have, anything you want to share. Okay, thank you. Bye, love you. See you next month.